Hello, hello, and welcome back to another weekly global hangout with your host, Fallen Corpses here as always, and joined by AC again, as
Yeah,
always. What's
hey,
going on, my dude?
GMGX, YGG fam, doing good, Colin. It's nice to have
Yeah,
our YGG Global Hangouts tonight, and we're gonna have a very interesting night tonight. We're gonna go retro and we're gonna go building things out.
yeah, it's gonna be an interesting little twist here. We've got a little bit of an AI thing, but as well as a little bit of a gaming thing. With Farcade
Yeah.
here. So, without further ado, we're going to bring Chuck Stock on here from the team. Chuck, how are you?
Let's go
I
check.
am good, man. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, doing
Nice,
good.
nice.
Got my morning coffee for me on the East Coast here, and
Yeah, yeah. I'm in.
Got
I'm
my
in New
water
York right.
here.
I'm in New York right now, so I'm just drinking coffee and eating bagels, really assimilating with the culture. So it's been nice. I was living on the West Coast for a bit, and it feels like this is much better time zone. Everything's so much harder on the West Coast. Waking up at like 6 a.m. all the time.
yeah, no, 100%. And it's even easier for our Filipino friends. It's 10 in the evening, isn't it, AC over
Mhm.
there for you guys?
Yeah, it's already 10 p.m.
You
and
guys,
it's
you got.
almost midnight, but we're still very much energetic this time.
That's
It's
cool. Yeah.
okay. A lot of our community's night owls, anyways, grinding out games late at
Yeah, the
night,
night
right?
owls.
So
Yeah, 100%.
we're
Yeah.
good to go. But yeah, Chuck, let's dive into Farcade and what that's all about. But before we get the details, like what do you do at Farcade yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Chuck Stock. I'm one of the co-founders of the Farcade. It's co-founded by me and my brother. His handle's Blackstock. We're we've been in crypto for about 10 years. Been coding for an equal amount of time. We are obsessed with gaming. Love crypto. Love the intersection of both things. And then very recently, over the last couple of years, we've really fallen in love with like AI and some of these tools. And so, yeah, we founded the Farcade. I know there's probably a lot of people on here who know Sam Stefanina. We just hired him as the CMO, so he's helping us build this project as well. So we're pretty excited. I feel like we have a pretty stellar team, and we're building at the intersection of things that we're just really excited about and really passionate about.
Yeah, I love the twist that you guys are doing when we dove into just a little bit of what you guys are about. So it's really at the intersection of all those things that you're talking about. Gaming and AI and crypto all kind of bundled into one thing.
One
Yeah. Oh,
platform, yeah.
I was talking with my friend yesterday, and they're like, it's hard to pigeonhole you guys in like one niche because you really are sitting at all of them. And I was like, yeah, just like it just so happened that we felt like we found a cool idea. I think it's really easy when you're excited by multiple niches to try and like square peg around hole when you're trying to build a product. You're like, well, I love gaming and I love crypto, so I'm going to try to like find a product that works there. And a lot of times you'll see things like are unnatural fits, but it just feels like what we're building just has a lot of like synergies with every single niche. So it's been really fun. We feel super excited and just feel like we're kind of at the right place, right time for some of these technologies to take off.
Yeah, it seems like that you kind of found your own lane here and are carving out something that I don't think we've seen in the space because me and AC have covered a lot of different projects and even outside of games, and I can't necessarily remember anyone that's doing what you do. So before we continue kind of vaguely there, maybe it's a good idea to actually say what Farcade is for the community so they have an
Yeah,
idea.
let's just keep talking very vague circles for as long as we can, so no one really knows what I do. It sounds more exciting. It'd be much more of the crypto thesis. Everything I do is redacted at this point. No one really knows. But I'm building the Farcade, and if you haven't seen it or checked it out before, the Farcade is really trying to be the TikTok for playing and creating games. The idea is creating a very consumer-oriented platform that really feels as much of a social media platform as it does an arcade. And the cool, unique twist about all the games is all the games are actually user generated. So all the games are built in-house using our AI game studio by the users. And a lot of them have been played millions of times by people who have never written a single line of code. So that's a really cool part about it is It should feel very familiar. It should feel a lot of fun, and should feel a lot like playing an arcade or a social media version of an arcade. But all the games are built by the users, and something that I'm just like endlessly excited about, because I think all the best game developers in the world are people who are not currently developers or game designers. I think they're all people that are extremely creative, but have been hamstrung by not having the skill set or the resources to make games, and that's going away very quickly. So we're trying to build a platform that really shines a spotlight on the next generation of game developers.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And I saw a little bit of a demo earlier of how it works, and as somebody who does not really know how to code, it definitely piqued my interest there. Now, you're not worried that this is going to kind of put you in the bad graces of other game developers or coders as one yourself?
Oh yeah, no, they hate us. No, engineers and game developers are very protective of their skill set, and for very good reasons. I think that's been like the weird dichotomy of like my own skill set is every day I feel like I'm making my own skill set that I've been building for the last 10 years just be less valuable. But I think that's fine. I just think that's like the way the world is evolving, and the world's trending. And I think it's really hard to fight it. And so I think there's just still, if you're going to be a game design, I think if you're a game designer, you should actually be ecstatic about some of these changes. Game designers have the same problem that a lot of people have, which is they're incredibly creative, but they're hamstrung by engineers. They can only ship games or iterations as fast as engineers can code them or want to participate in it. And so to me, it just feels like this is such a creative unlock. And if you're mad at me, you're not really mad at the Farcade. You're not mad at me. You're just like, you're just frustrated that like the world is changing and you kind of don't want it to. So I think people are going to be upset, but I think that's temporary. Like I think people are the more they lean into this and learn about it, I think the more excited people are going to be, as opposed to maybe anxious or nervous about it.
Yeah, I think it ties back into kind of this conversation that I've had with the community a few times before, about how AI is going to, I don't think necessarily like replace all the jobs. It's going to be replacing the people that aren't willing to embrace it and use it as the tool that it needs to be, right? Like I'm assuming that with AI, any good game dev is actually going to be able to produce a lot more on their own if they know how to use it, versus somebody that's just like, I guess, stonewalling or doesn't want to embrace the technology.
For sure. And like we've seen this, we see this over and over again throughout history. You saw this like with cameras and photographs, and like you weren't a real artist if you were taking photos. Like anyone can take a photo. So like photography wasn't considered art. And then like with movies and film, and then I think it's really big, especially with like laptops and software, especially with like even animated shows and animated stuff. Like, yeah, it's, if you want to fight it and not use computers, not use these advanced tools, it's not that your art's worth less, but like it's going to be really hard to keep up with people who embrace the technology. And so the technology to me is really just a big unlock for creativity and expression. And I think we're just in this weird transition where so much has changed. Like I just, and that's something that I'll talk about a lot with the Farcade, is I really do think everything we know about building software and building tech and building games changed about 7 or 8 months ago when these LLMs got good enough to build and write code. And so I think we need to just embrace where this world is going, and people who will embrace it are going to kind of see outsized rewards, and people who fight it are going to just be fighting a losing battle, because like it's happening. And so you just got to find ways to like leverage it and embrace it, because I do think people are actually going to be more happy about it than sad. And like you said, Fallen, like I'm much more of like a techno optimist in this way, because I do think this is just going to be like such a big productivity unlock. I think we'll just see much larger creation of jobs than we are going to see like a removal of jobs. I think we're just going to see huge removal of jobs that exist today, but I think we're going to see like an incredible amount of creation of work and things to do.
Yeah, I love that that term, techno optimist. Yeah, I'm I'm in the same camp as well. I think a lot of people, it's a lot of doom and gloom Do I think we're going to reach like some sort of utopia? Probably not. If history is any indicative of it, is like reality is pretty baseline, like middle ground versus worst case scenario versus best case scenario. It's usually somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah, have you seen that meme? It's like God gives the gift of life, and then it's like this like other person. It's like, thanks, I hate it. It's like there's always this. I think this is like as magical as like I think like life has really been for like humanity. Like it's like we live in like the craziest time ever, and yet like I think there is just like a lot of pain and sadness. But I do think, yeah, is AI gonna be like the solution to like this like euphoric utopia that we're going to live in? It's like probably not. We'll probably like get very used to it very quickly, and we'll just be like on to the next thing. But again, I do think like we always overestimate the impact of technology in the short term and underestimate it in the long term. It's this like really weird oxymoron where we feel like everyone's going to lose their jobs next year, and that's like not going to be what's going to happen. That's going to be like a much slower transition, and then we'll see like, but it is going to be a completely different world in 5 years. Like the same way like pre and post social media, it's like almost indistinguishable, or it's indistinguishable, or like pre and post internet. You're like, how did we do anything pre-internet? And I think it's going to be like, how do we do anything pre-AI?
Yeah.
Is what's going to be happening. And it's going to be like, this world will be like unrecognizable in 5 to 10 years. But I don't think like next year, 90% of the world is going to be out of work. That's just not how I see this happening.
Well, it's definitely like we've featured a few different like what we call future of work initiatives here, and again, it's a lot of our community training, like these LLMs with data, right? Like so.
Yeah.
From what we've heard from a lot of these companies, our future work partners, is that there is a huge shortage of data for AI. Even though there's so much on the internet, it's just like cycling through it so quickly that it needs more, and it needs very specific data. So we've been showcasing a lot of these projects that are essentially having our users feed data to them that
Nice.
then gets fed into the LLM. So that's where I joke is like a few jobs might disappear, but these new jobs where you're I don't know, creating data for maybe things that you enjoy will sprout out, which is pretty cool, right?
It's super cool. Like I think we're just naturally going to move into a world of more like individual creativity and agency. Like I just think there's going to be smaller companies, a lot more work. Like I just think like I think to me, it feels like a step in the right direction, honestly. Like, I think that if you think about like a theoretical end goal, like you just would hope that like every human has the opportunity to like make a living being creative and like enjoying that. And I think we're like taking a step in that direction. And so I think that's like the way I think about it is like, we'll just see more of an opportunity of people being able to be creative, express themselves online in like a digital world, and have like the tools to do so. Whether it's anything from like creating games, like I'm going to show you guys here in a second, like how cool and easy it is to make games. I think like there'll be a lot of opportunities to make a ton of money making games. There'll be a lot of opportunities making like movies and content, and shows will be a lot more accessible. So I'm again think it's going to be super exciting. And then there's this whole like crazy universe of data and AI training and stuff like that, which is just like such an unknown quantity. But again, I'm mostly excited for it because I do think this is a step towards like a more exciting future for like most people working, because like there's just a lot of work out there that sucks, and I think we're hopefully getting into like more fun work for more people.
Yeah, so that's a perfect transition. I'm just gonna pull up your screen here, Chuck, and then maybe we could do a live demo for people. So here we go. This is the Farcade website, right?
Yep. Yeah. So this is so like I said with the TikTok analogy, is a good thing way or mental model to think about the Farcade is having like the consumer app and then the studio. So similar to like Twitch or something, where you have the people using the consumer side of the platform to watch the videos or watch YouTube, and then you have the studios, which is the back end for creating all the content. And so what we're looking at right now is the studio. So this is the homepage for the studio. It's app.farcade.ai. I will say right now it's only open to people who have a Warpcast account. This was purely just an early access thing. That restriction will be coming down in the next week or two. But the way I'll show you how to make games is you can actually start making games anywhere. So, and then import them into the Farcade. So this is my dashboard on the Farcade. This is showing everything that's happening right now. like I said, if you want to make money from playing games, we're even doing a game jam right now with Nouns GG, where if you're making games with Nouns, we're giving away over $800 in USDC, over 100,000 Farcade points and prizes. But so like a pretty cool thing. We're doing all of this. We keep track of like just all of your activity within the platform. So my points I'm earning for our TGE, we have like badges. So like, launching your first game, launching certified games. So certified is like when your games get successful enough that they basically graduate. And again, I'll show how all that stuff works in the client. But this is a pretty cool dashboard for just being a snapshot as a builder, like your impact, everything you're building, everything, like all the success you've had within the Farcade as a builder and a game maker. So I'll show you a couple of games that I've built. Geo Wars is one I really like. Actually, I can't show it on here. This is actually deprecated. So I'll show you. Oh, actually, let me see. One sec. Let me see if this works.
AC might be able to pull it up in the actual app.
Yeah, this one is a unique one here. So I can actually share the screen. So this one's unique because this was using our old infrastructure. So this is actually a little space thing. You can fly around, shoot this. Again, all of this was AI generated just using prompts. I'm just flying around using a little keyboard, fly around, kill these guys, and I'll just die. That's one of my games. It's actually been really popular. This one's been played almost like 700,000 times. We'll go back to the studio now. So that's called Geo Wars. That's one of my cool games. Let's see. Actually, I'll show you Black Hole. This one's really popular. It's pretty simple. You're just this little guy, and it's just, all you're doing is trying to time it. You're just trying to shoot the little character into the little hole, the black hole, as it were. And so just this really fun little addicting mini game. And so within the studio, I get access to a lot of stuff I need to build a game. I get like an asset uploads. We're adding more templates and stuff like here, so you can actually get, if you're building your game, you can use a bunch of different sprite sheets in a marketplace, or building out the marketplace for game assets right now. I get analytics. So like this has been played 850,000 times. I get all my reviews. I get my bug reports. It's been played by over 120,000 people for almost 4,500 hours. Get my ratings. I can see everyone who's playing it right now. So like people are literally playing it the second. A cool thing we also do is streamline achievements. And so something you'll notice like in general about the studio is we want, all you have to do is to focus on making the game, and we'll handle everything else. Like we handle the user authentication, we handle the achievements, we handle all those, like a lot of these Legos that every game has. We want to like streamline that so you don't have to rebuild every Lego, like achievements and players and PvP. We want to do all of that for you. And like the wallet is like a preview, like a sneak preview of something coming soon, where this is actually where all your rewards and storefront and revenue is going to start coming in, which is pretty exciting. So this is, I think, a good example of like what it looks like when you have a game, but I think everyone here is much more excited by the idea of creating a game. So let's do it. Let's make an AI game. So let's make, I really like making Space Invaders. I think it's a really cool game that shows off a lot of like the basics of making something. So we're going to make a game called Space Invaders. The next step is picking your AI assistant. And so the AI assistants we support so far is we support third party, so like Grok, ChatGPT, Replit. You can go use one of those. You can use Cursor. Cursor is much more if you're a developer or building something as like an engineer. So people who are, I think, a little bit further down the rabbit hole of like more coding than AI prompting. Then we have our own AI chat. This is still in beta. So this works pretty decent. I think it still has some work to do. So we're actually just going to use Grok for the sake of this demo, because I think this will be pretty helpful. So we're going to click Grok. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, I want a really simple Space Invaders game. And so when you're using Grok, the first thing that we do for you is we give you basically a much better prompt to then go and give Grok. And I'll say that's like a pretty good pro tip with using AI and prompting, is to actually, the first step, give like a very basic response and say, give me back a response that I can use to then like prompt something with. So you can say, I want to give me a, like, so the first thing you say is like, give me a prompt that I could give to Grok for building a very simple game that resembles Frogger. And so you'll use that, and then usually the AI will generate this really cool text prompt like that we just did here that you can then go give to AI, and you're going to get much better results. And yeah, feel free to pause me if you have any questions and if you want me to like dive into any of this stuff, but I'll just keep going. So I basically said all I want is a super simple, Space Invaders games. What we did is we went and enhanced the prompt. So we said we enhanced like basically the general game concepts. We wanted like more requirements, and so we basically give it the requirements of the things that we're looking for. So this enhanced prompt will give you a much better output than if you just went to Grok and said, I want a super simple Space Invaders game. So now we're over at Grok. All I'm going to do is copy and paste that new prompt, and it's going to start writing the code. So here it goes. It's building the game. This has been pretty good in the past. Unfortunately, with AI demos, and the most frustrating part about AI demos is AI is not 100% consistent. So sometimes it's perfect, sometimes it's not, but we'll work our way through it. So as you can see, it's writing out the game code. A fun part too about building or vibe coding is this stuff usually takes a minute or two to build these things, and so it's actually a really fun thing to do while you kind of have some like passive time on your hands. Cool. So we have some guys here. Let's see. Looks like I don't know if I see my character. It looks like it's like super zoomed in. So it looks like I can't see my character at the bottom. It just looks like enemies falling down the screen. So not exactly working great. If this happens, there's two things you can do. One, we could be like, this is not close enough to like maybe something that's workable. So maybe sometimes the best thing to do is literally just to create a new chat and start again. Just like start over from square one, and like hopefully you get like a better starting point. That's something that I've noticed is a lot better with AI. Is sometimes it's best to like get rid of work and start again than it is to try to like fix the problem. Instead of trying to like say fix all these issues, I think that what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this in a brand new chat and just do it again. So I'm going to see how it does the second time, because I didn't like how it did it that time. So we'll see if it gets me anything better on the second go, which again, I think it will.
It's like saving your progress in a game or just restarting it because you didn't get the Pokemon that you wanted.
yeah. It's like, yeah, dude, are you gonna train this stupid little Pidgey for forever, or are you gonna like restart it and get like like Pikachu or something? It's like it just is a thing with AI. Okay, see, we got a much better starting point here. I got my player. I can shoot bullets, so this is much better. Like, so I probably saved myself a good 10 or maybe like 10 to 15 minutes of back and forth prompting by just saying, I didn't like that, start over. Because an important thing to note about is it's better to go to a new chat and start over in that situation than to potentially just copy and paste the same thing here, because these chats have context and always remember the things you did. And so it's always important to remember that sometimes starting fresh is a really good way to like basically get this like reset of everything the AI knows. And so it's not like trying to fix or redo or like break old problems. Cool. So this was cool. This looks like we have a really good starting point. We got enemies coming down the screen. We got a little player that moves back and forth. I can shoot bullets. Some stuff I like to do here is like, I think this is like cool, obviously, but like art styles like pretty important. So let's make the art style a bit better. So I'll say, make this look more like a Cybertron art style. See how that does. Another pro tip is actually putting 2 to 3, sometimes you can do up to like 4 or 5 changes, just depending on how big they are, in like a list. AI is really good at handling like lists of suggestions. And so we can say that and be like, add more enemies. We'll just do those two. So I didn't really like that. It was just one row of enemies. And so let's try a new art style. I think that'll make the game feel a little bit more fun. And we'll add more enemies, which I think will look better.
And can you import assets? Let's say you're, a digital artist and you've created your own spaceship.
Yeah, let's find something. So let's go over this, that. So there's a lot of good places to find art. The cool thing with our studio is we'll actually be able to use AI to generate art very soon. So you can actually just describe the art that you want. Like, I want a spaceship. So let's do like Galaga ship. So Galaga is so it looks like this is a good one. Let's download this one. So Galaga, actually that's a bad image actually. So let's find this.
It reminds us of those flash games in Newgrounds.
Yeah. So we got this little ship. Let's get this one looks kind of cool. So let's download this one. Save image as Galaga. And so replace it. So now I have this ship, so I can go over to the studio. I'll share it, and I can add and upload assets here. So I'll upload my. Oh, I can't do. Sorry, I can't do that style of assets. Let me share this tab. I need a PNG. Maybe this one's a PNG. Those are all WebPs. Okay. Maybe I just need to go to the actual link. Okay, there we go. Download. Where's the little download button? Oh. Okay, so it's there. So now we got the ship. We go to the studio. We'll upload asset. Got a little ship. Cool. We'll just call this ship. And now what I can do is we'll take this. We'll go back to this code. We'll see how it did on the next generation. Looks like it did some pretty cool stuff. So we got kind of this more Tron style theme. We get like the neon colors. We got this like little cool grid. Kind of like neon enemies. But we wanted to make. We actually had. Oh, whoops, sorry. We did. Is this the right one? So we got our ship. We got the game working, but we actually had that art that we wanted for the ship. So we can say use this art for the ship. A lot of times I say for the player instead of ship, but you could probably say ship there. So then I copy the link from the Farcade studio. I just share it here, and it's pretty good at like finding that character and that player, and then just using that asset. So again, we just had that little triangle before, and now we'll add the ship. And again, stuff that like is really cool that I love just to talk about. Like, it's so amazing how impressive it is to like build like how long it would take to learn to write just any of this code. And then you're talking about doing like physics and making characters move and doing collision detection, like doing collision detection with like a custom image you uploaded is like a really difficult thing. So all the stuff that you just get for free, like we're basically jump starting to like, we're kind of in like year 1 or 2 of writing software now. Oh, cool. Now I've got my ship down at the bottom. So there we go. So that's a lot of how asset upload works. You can just go find assets, you can find game sprites, and it'll like know how to do it. So we could next we could go find assets for like those enemies, make the enemies cooler.
Yeah.
And we could just go.
Or you could even fix that restart button because it's in the wrong place, like it's overlapping, right?
Yeah. Let's say. So I'll say, so a good thing when you're prompting is more text is always better. Like being descriptive, describing problems, it gives more things for the AI to like have context over. So I'd say like being verbose and descriptive is always better. I get pretty lazy, and I actually have this thing called Super Whisper that allows me just to like talk to the computer. So I just use my microphone a lot. That's why I'm not even talking. So because when I talk, I end up being much more verbose than I am when I'm writing text. And so that's a really good way if you're prompting is to like be more verbose, be very descriptive. Don't be generic. Don't say, you don't want to like dumb down what you're trying to do. You want to be very helpful to the AI by giving it more context. The only time you want to be, and I'll do this in here. Let's fix this one. I'll show like a cool thing that you can do with AI, which is really helpful when you're like designing games. So it's going to fix that button. And then, yeah, so again, I think that another thing when you're building games, it's really good to do like assets and styling. You kind of want to do a lot of that stuff near the end. I actually really like just working with basic shapes because it's a really good way to like get a feel for the game to see if it's fun and like updating a lot of like the collision or because a lot of times when you make a game, you get pretty close. You're like, oh, this game's pretty fun, but like a lot of it's just like fine tuning. It's like, oh, make the enemies like shoot twice as fast or shoot twice as slow, and like you're just actually trying to fine tune variables as opposed to like rewriting everything from scratch all the time. And so it's a good thing to like use that as like the playground to test, and then you can basically add all the assets in at like the very end. Okay, cool. So this is a really good example of stuff that can happen, which is like sometimes the AI just hallucinates and it like either deleted code or didn't write the right code. So you can just actually do this and just say something happened, try and find the code and fix it. And so it's going to go through and try to rewrite the code and find a fix for it. This is also
easy.
Yeah, super easy. This is also one of those situations where if this doesn't fix it, I'm actually going to go back to here when we did the restart button, and I'm going to delete these messages. I'm going to delete these old ones and just try rerunning this one again and just like go back to that spot. Because sometimes now it's going to get caught in this loop of like not being able to fix its problem. Hopefully it just fixes it right now, which we'll see. But this is a good situation where like you might be getting caught in a situation where you just actually want to delete your images and try the same prompt again, and you'll probably get an actual fix the next time.
Yeah. That is
So
much better compared before that you need to check every syntax and
yeah, definitely.
loves.
Now it looks like I got like some Chinese characters in my code, which is pretty funny. I have no idea how that happened. Yeah, so we got an enemy with some symbols in here, which is insane. That's pretty wild. I've never seen that. This is a first. I might cheat here and just delete this. See if that works. Yeah, so that works. Let's see. Okay, let's see if it fixes the game over screen. I'll die. Cool. So much better, right? So we get the much better button. This looks good. Now, a fun thing with game design and a really hard part about game design is like, okay, this looks good, but like, how am I going to make this more fun? Like, what's like some cool stuff I can do? And that's where AI is super good. That's where AI can help you like iterate on a bunch of different ideas really, really fast. So I can say, this game feels a little boring. What are some suggestions to make this game more fun? So now I can actually just start brainstorming. There's gonna be someone I can just talk to and just be like, I don't know what to do next. I kind of like the frame. I like the bones of this. This feels like I'm going down the right direction, but like something's just not. It's just like no one's gonna. I don't feel like anyone's gonna play this and be like blown away by it. So it's like, look, we can add power ups, counterattacks. Cool. Progressive difficulty, player lives. Those all are awesome. So it's going to start adding all of these things. This is this type of stuff used to take weeks, maybe even months of like developer time. Like adding something like power ups to a game. That's an incredibly big ask. Like that's a really big thing to take a game and be like, now I want power ups. Maybe for a really simple browser-based game, it's not the craziest thing, but for a lot of games, it is. Because power-ups have a lot of really interesting like design and technical boundaries and spaces to work around. Like just adding this concept of like, I need to be able to shoot my gun faster. And it's like, did you design the guns in a way that like the speed is variable and you can have bigger guns? And now, so there's like a lot of this stuff that just as it takes a lot of time, and we're going to do it in about 45 seconds. That's just so insane and something that's like really, really amazing. Okay, now we've got way too many things. So this is where I talk about like fine tuning, where you're going to want to spend some time. Oh my God, give me a power up. Okay, so that was really hard. So I think like for the sake of this demo, this is about we can obviously go back and forth with this for a long time. Like, we could spend the next couple hours going, okay, fine tune the enemies, make them slower, make them faster. Let's add this sprite sheet. But you kind of get the gist of like where this is going. We added enemy, we added players, we have collision detection, we made a bunch of updates to it. Sweet. So now I think the best part about we should go from here is just I made this game, and this is the problem that most people get to is like I made this game. Now what? It's like, okay, cool. Grok made this game for me. Like, it'd be really awesome if I could share this game with my friends or have my friends come play or add like a leaderboard or achievements. And with this Farcade, all you have to do is you can just take the code. So we're just going to take the code, we'll copy it, we'll go over to the studio, we'll paste it into the code section, we'll save it. Now we'll go here. We can see we're going to have our game here. So it looks like there's a little bit of a bug just because my screen is so small. This probably will fix itself if I just was on a regular size monitor. But anyways, we could spend all day fixing bugs. I think that's not really the point. But now you can see I have my game over here. And so I have my game. Now for the Farcade, we basically have like this wrapper around our game to make sure everything works within the Farcade. And so we made it try to be as simple as possible where you can just copy and paste our AI to fix it. So I'll copy that code, I'll paste it over here in the Farcade, and it's actually just going to go through and update your game to make sure it works and is compatible with the Farcade. So it's like just that simple. A really cool part is, which I'll show here, is so we have like the chat beta coming. So like soon we will just have done everything we did on Grok, but you'll just do it right here. You'll just be prompting and working with the game, and you won't have to do some of this back and forth stuff, which will be really nice. But we'll take a little bit more time. I'm actually probably going to fix this enemies falling off the screen real quick because I think it'll. Let's fix that. So share this tab again. So I'll wait till it gets done, and then I'm going to send it this other prompt to fix this. Because the other thing that we help streamline is once you've made the game, we want to do things like something we noticed when we were building games is, it maybe only took us like an hour to make the game, but then it took us, 2 hours or 3 hours to make like the thumbnails and record a video and like do all this stuff that like if you're not familiar with like Photoshop like took a long time, if that makes sense, where you're trying to make this like really cool marketing material for your game, and it just was like really hard to do all of that. And so we help streamline a lot of that, where you can record your gameplay, you can take thumbnails, you can like really easily edit the thumbnails, so then when you go share it on social media, you get this like really cool, nice looking thing that people are more likely to engage with. All right. So what do you guys think so far? Is this easier or harder than you thought it would be?
It's pretty easy. I'm already thinking of some games that I used to play or loved that I could probably port over with my own IP.
Yeah.
What about?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if AC's got some ideas himself.
Yeah, definitely compared to when I was in college before, doing flash games and Macromedia. Oh my, those days. This is much more easier. Just click away or prompt away.
Yeah, I know it is. It's for me. I mean, this is funny because I've been coding for 10 years, and I think this is like the most fun I've ever had, like coding as an engineer. It's like it just feels like, oh, here's a power up. Let's see how this goes. What can I do? Can I shoot faster? I'm not sure if I get what that did. Oh, let me shoot like twice as fast. Okay, so these enemies are still jumping down a lot. So I think as I want to copy and paste this code over, it might do the thing where it's still just falling off the screen. Let's see. If it does, it's fine. We'll just keep going.
Yeah, this is, I guess, where it's you gotta iterate and just keep working out
Okay, cool. So it's a little bit better, but obviously still needs some more work. But the cool part is now we're actually fixing all this stuff. So what we're doing right now is we're automatically checking on the left side to make sure it's compatible. It says a little technical. Why it's kind of why I don't love it, but it's really helpful for us, like to debug things. If like you're saying your game isn't compatible, you can send us a screenshot and like we know what's going on, and so we can help fix it really quick. But as like a non-engineer, we'd love if like all of this stuff didn't exist, but it's just kind of an interim step in the meantime. So okay, cool. We got our game. We built the game. It's integrated with the Farcade. The next thing I want to do is I actually want to create a recorded gameplay so that I can share with friends. We actually have this TikTok style feed, so people scrolling a feed can see the video of the game so they can give it a try. So I'll go click record. I'll start recording. I'll share this tab. Again, so it's going to be a little awkward because it's just falling off the screen. Wait, can you guys see this? Can you see? Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I can see
you can see like this little preview. So we're just recording the gameplay real quick. Ideally, it's not just ending over and over again, but we'll end that. So I stopped sharing. So I stopped that. So now let's start sharing this tab. So it's cool. You can see I recorded the gameplay. I can like trim it to the right 10 seconds that I want for my video. And again, this is stuff that like just took us such a long time when we would build our own games. And so whenever we build our own stuff and we like find stuff that just is really annoying and tedious, we basically just try to make that really simple. So now I can actually like drag through the frames. Maybe I can actually get like a frame in here that's the actual game happening. Okay, cool. So like maybe this is like the best frame I have for my game. For my video. Okay, let's get it. Let's get a good one. We'll find it. Let's just get a player in there. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now I can like start adjusting this stuff. So I have a good like horizontal thumbnail. That like looks good. Okay, cool. I can share that. I can portrait adjustments, make that a little bit bigger. Cool. So now I can capture and upload this. I thought the text should be a little bit smaller, but we'll figure that out later. So now I just uploaded my gameplay image, my thumbnails. Now everything is going to look and feel really good in the Farcade. I'm going to have a really cool game page. It'll have videos that people can watch and see if the game's fun, be able to explore my game. And that's basically it. So now that I'm done, I just submit the game and we're going to wait for approval. Like we do a lot of we use like AI agents to make sure all the game code is good. We make sure that no one's submitting like malicious code. We make sure that all the assets don't have like copyright infringement or trademark infringement. And so we do all this stuff. And so hopefully we're giving consumers, like the end consumers, a very good experience because they're just always playing games that work, are fun, and just an enjoyable experience from the consumer side. Where I think the problem with some of these platforms, these AI tools, is you go try the games and 95% of them suck, and so it's fun to know that like the games are decent.
Yeah, super cool. So essentially, you just publish a game, and let's say you update the game. Let's say you want to update it as you go, right? If you create an update after it's approved, will that update automatically be like implemented to people playing the game?
So that'll go. It goes through the same review process, but yes, like your game will now just be like an updated version of the game, which is really helpful. So this is what the consumer side of the platform looks like. This is basically like the first feed. Here's like a game called like BridgeBot that's like our featured game for right now. I can just click play and go give it a try. Cool part is I can get a nice overview of how much people have done. I can see my old high score. I can just start playing the game. It's a little loud. Mute that. This one's really simple. You're actually just like holding the bar. Oh, whoops. Oh God. Try that again. That was embarrassing. We'll do this one more time. But right now you just hold the bar to make like a Brit. Oh, why is it right clicking? Don't do that. Don't do that to me while I'm trying. Oh, I found a hidden bridge way out there. Stop it. Okay, my trackpad is just right clicking every time. But now I can actually just start exploring all these cool TikToks or games or all these user-generated games. We basically have this feed too, where we have tournaments. You just start scrolling through the feed to find like the games that you want to play, and you don't have to go download games. You don't have to reinvite or find your new friends again. I can just easily just hit play and start playing the games. Another thing we have that's really fun is actually the ability to challenge friends. And so I can actually just challenge people to play a game. So my friend just sent me a challenge. We wagered some points, and unfortunately I'm down bad again in my challenges, but they're a lot of fun. And like we'll just like me and a lot of my friends will just challenge each other. Like once we start challenging each other, we just go back and forth like all day. So that's a pretty fun part of the product. But once that Galaga game we see gets reviewed, the next thing that will happen is it will end up in it basically ends up like just like totally break my scroll pad. Okay, after you publish a game, it ends up in this section down here called new releases. So these are all like the brand new release games, and this is what are called like ungraduated or uncertified games. And so a lot of these are just brand new games. Sometimes they're like not as fun, but once your game gets to 1,000 plays, has at least 3.5 ratings and over 20 favorites from 200 people, you actually end up graduating. Once you graduate, you move up into this section, which has a lot more visibility and also turns on achievements. So achievements are one of the biggest incentive drivers for people to come play your game. And these older games don't actually have achievements. Only these ones don't have achievements. These ones do, which is a really cool thing about graduating is you get these like a lot of these extra benefits for your game that makes them a lot more exciting for people to come play. So it's pretty cool to get from new releases into graduate. That's yeah, man. I think that's it. I think
That's the gist of it, eh?
that's the gist of it, eh?
Yeah. So you get these points as you're playing and completing. Like I'm seeing a different thing. Obviously, I'm seeing a streak. I'm seeing a level. I'm seeing points, and I'm seeing loot boxes. So do you want to talk about what those are?
Yeah. So loot boxes are being revamped right now. You basically get a loot box every time you level. You get a legendary loot box if you have a streak for 10 days. So I can open a loot box. You end up getting points and experience points, and we're actually adding like items into these. And so we're doing some of our first items right now where you actually have sorry if I go streaks. Streaks, we just start selling streak freezes because people apparently really love streaks. Like hate when they lose them. So you can actually start buying these, and you'll actually be able to get these from inside loot boxes, which are really valuable. So streaks are just like more fun. We're adding also like friend streaks. So like you and I could become friends, and then like we get extra rewards every day that we both play games together, which is fun. Level is just an expression of like how many games and XP you earn from playing games, and so you level up just from purely playing games. Where points is a function of like playing games and being good at games. Where level is much more a function of just like you're doing all the valuable things on the platform. You get a level up kind of just as fast as someone who's very good, but someone who's very good is going to earn more points. And then points is just, our airdrop for our TGE. We'll be doing the TGE later this year, which I'm super excited about. We have some like pretty cool VCs. We're back to like Coinbase and Variant Fund and some like really big investors. And so I think this is an exciting thing to just try to reward our early adopters and early users with the TGE. And then again, loot boxes are being revamped. I think they're a little boring right now. I think the animations and stuff is cool, but we want to have like bigger. We want them to be more rare, and we want them to be better prizes inside them. So whether it's a ton of points, whether it's items, whether it's actual like NFTs and monetary rewards. So we're gonna revamping the loot boxes right now.
Cool. Yeah, maybe just I can pick your brain on like I'm thinking of like what I would like to see as a game. And I'm kind of thinking of things. So let's say, because I'm seeing some fairly basic games here. Like, are there any games that are like a lot more fleshed out?
Yeah,
have, like a full leveling system, have a menu that maybe has different games within them.
So we don't have anything. We don't have like an inception of a Farcade. We don't have like a gaming inception where there's another arcade inside the Farcade that has even more like nested games, but I'll show you like the variety of like games. So what we saw is like I've shown you some like really simple games. So GeoCrush is our most popular game. It's been played over 1 million times. I actually think it's getting close to 2 million times. This is like a match 3 style game. Something that's really cool about this is just how polished like the sound effects are and how like good the animations are. Like everything like bouncing in, like feels really good. You can collect these lightning bolts to get like surges, which like shakes up and redoes the whole board, all like the collapse. And so this is a really like polished game. I'll say this is our most popular game because it feels very good. But again, not like the craziest amount of depth, but just was a very fun, good feeling game. We have things like Hyperheat, which is, I think, again, a really polished game. This is more of like you fly a ship and you're trying to dodge and collect them. You collect cooldown orbs. Again, nothing too crazy. But now I'll start showing you into like the more recent games. Like people are definitely getting a lot better at making games, and we're starting to see a lot more crazy games. And so we'll scroll down. We have where's the big one? Pixel Survivors is the big one. Actually, let me just go to my homepage. So this is one of the more recent games. Did you ever play Vampire Survivors?
I sounds familiar, but I can't remember it.
So this is, again, a pretty big game. You basically start off, you can pick your character. This is cool because we did like, this guy added like a nouns character to his game for the game jam we were doing. But I'm gonna pick a mage. That's what it's gonna sound. Sounds pretty cool. Oh, and I broke the game. Let me refresh it. So I'm gonna pick the mage, and I can start running around the screen. I'm gonna start killing mobs. You collect these little gems. I get like new weapons that I can get. So there's a bunch of different weapons. So I can get like a drone that circles me. I can do an ice shard that like slows them down. Can run around. And then like every 6 levels, like bosses spawn. This is a crazy game because people play this game like non-stop. Like people play this game a lot, and they'll play for like a single game will last like 10 or 15 minutes if you get really good. So people play this game for a long time. You can see like this one definitely shows like the most complexity and like duration of interactions. So I can have like chain lightning. So I get like chain lightning abilities. I can like pause the screen. I can see my weapons, like the level they're at, the passives. So this is obviously a lot more depth than like the game we built.
But probably took a lot more time polishing, right? Like,
yeah. So this guy built this game for a while. Like, and for a while, I literally mean like a week. Like it wasn't like this crazy amount of time. And he did it in his spare time. It wasn't like he was building this full time for a week. Mm-hmm. But it really, just like a really amazing game, super fun. People are like, just really enjoy that game. This was another like really fun, simple game, but like very creative, leveraging like the nouns IP. He even creates like his own like little like flash screens. He even has like a tutorial like screen. You like can learn to play the game. You're actually just trying to like jump over these razor blades as they like bounce into the thing. It has like a double jump. It has really cool sound effects. I died, but like it's a very fun game. And then I'll start showing you some of the other stuff that we're starting to see now. Is we're starting to see a lot more 3D games coming into play. Let me find. So it's Far City. So like this is like which you probably saw in the trailer. It's kind of like a Crazy Taxi game. But basically you can just start driving. It looks like you can actually push some updates here. So you push like some new UI updates. The cool part about this game too is you could actually download or pay for some like pretty cool 3D assets here. I think once he starts adding like some better 3D assets, this could look entirely different. He's even has like AI and like other cars driving in here, which is just so nuts. So now I'm dropping people off. A really cool part I'll show you is like that mechanic. Like it's hard to describe just how hard that is to do. Like the physics, the engine, car flipping and like slowly rolling over. Like that was. Now you're talking about like you probably need to be coding for a couple years before you like learn how to do some of that stuff. Obviously, you could use like Unreal and Unity and some of that stuff to like try to make these things, but those also have their own learning curves and are very hard to like always make exactly what you want. So this is something someone just built. And I think it's just a really cool example of like 3D games, like those style games making it with Farcade. So we're starting to see a lot more depth. We're adding multiplayer games, and so you and I could be playing against each other at the exact same time, which is really fun. Or playing whether it's like Pong or chess, or even like Snake or some of these games that allows anyone creating games to make multiplayer experiences.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. So
I
I mean,
think I think that runs through most of it. Most of the community is probably like me and just thinking about what games they could create, like what AC was saying earlier. Like, can I revamp and put my twist on some of those Flash games from back in the day?
oh hell
Or
yeah, that's what like we want to see. Like I think like a lot of gaming is just like n+1. It's like it's the 95% of this game, but like I have this like fun creative twist I want to put on it. And I think that's like the reality of where a lot of this gaming is going is I think the Farcade is really going to take off. Not when people are making games from scratch every time, but it's like, oh, I just played Far City, but like maybe I want to add some really cool IP or a cool twist on like the car driving around. I don't need to go rebuild that entire game then to add the twist. I can literally take that game with a single button, do something what we're calling remixing, and give it a new prompt. It's kind of like a Mad Libs almost, where you give it a new prompt and then you just have this like brand new style game that gets republished. And then there's that's where we're going to be using a lot of tokens is we're actually create this royalties chain for the game. So like if I remixed your game and it goes viral because of my thing, you'll actually be rewarded as the original creator of that game.
oh, cool.
So I think it's pretty exciting.
So on the idea of royalties or anything there, so let's say I create a game, am I earning points or stuff like that for your airdrop if people are playing my game?
Yeah, you're in a ton of points as a builder. Builders are going to be very heavily rewarded from the TGE, and we're actually going to be turning on monetization. So like they'll game builders we start getting more rewarded even like before the TGE, just from like monetization and money coming into the platform.
So I'd be able to put some very basic microtransactions in the game.
Yeah, and we're also doing like our own revenue generation as a platform, and then doing rev share with the top builder. So we want it to feel as simple as like, uh, Unreal Fortnite editor, where like you just make money if you made a really popular Fortnite map, or even like social media, where it's like you just make money on Twitter if you just create good content. Like we want it to feel that way, where it's like, oh, I just made a fun game. You should make money because like we monetize the users on the platform, and your game had a lot of attention.
Very cool. The ideas are running through my head.
Yeah, yeah. That usually what happens. Every time I do one of these demos, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to build this game now.
Well,
You can
we
put in
are
a turn-based Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I think I'm talking to Oliver Maroney from like OpenSea. He's going to try to start building like a roller coaster tycoon game. He's really obsessed with like a builder style game, which I think would be super popular.
a city builder style.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think there's a lot of room to explore that space, like that design space. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I've definitely got a bunch of ideas. AC, any kind of game that you think you'd be interested in building? Maybe an AFK style game.
Yeah, I saw the earlier the ninja something, so I'm thinking about creating something with the ninja thing.
Yeah, yeah. There's a couple. I'm surprised we haven't seen more ninja theme stuff. I thought we'd see a lot more of that. I'm surprised we have a good amount of flappies. I thought we'd still see more Flappy Birds. I think that could be a pretty popular one to make. I'm surprised no one's built a chess game, which is wild to me. I thought chess would be like one of the first games people made.
Oh.
But I think, yeah, I'm really excited for that. And again, as a product thing that we're really working on is we're trying to add just more features for unlocks. Like right now, a lot of the games are single play games. We want to be able to add like more asynchronous turn-based games. We want to be able to add multiplayer games. We want to be able to add AFK games where like your state is like persistent. So you're like consistently progressing and leveling up. You're not just like playing through the game once and dying and starting over. It's all stuff that we're trying to unlock for builders.
So on that note, persistent games aren't around yet.
No, there's no, but they will be soon. Probably in like the next 2-3 weeks, we'll be adding some of our first like infinite games that you can just like play for forever. Like the cookie clickers, the AFK grinders, those types of games.
Yeah, definitely. Our community loves AFK grinding.
Oh, they're fun. They're so addicting. Like the async, AFK games, I think are super fun. So yeah, something we'll definitely work on. It's just more trying to fit everything into a good paradigm that feels like it's like a good rubric for builders to create their own.
Mhm.
When gotcha games?
That's a good question. I think I like morally am like trying not. It just feels like the thing that I dislike about Web3 gaming right now is it feels like they're all gotcha games. Like the only games doing well are like kind of gotcha or casino games, and I think we're trying to make games that aren't always about luck and rewards and
Yeah,
money, but hopefully just games that are fun. And I do think like there's a lot to be said about like my buddy just made a game. Like I want to try the game he made. Like it's a lot of fun to play a game. Like I have a lot of fun with the games we've built because like we all built them together, and so it's something a little like more fun and special about that. So I'm sure we'll have casino and gotcha games at some point. I think we're trying to let that happen pretty naturally and not like force it.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, slots game.
So we'll see.
Definitely.
It's always tough as a US based company too. You gotta be pretty careful.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
as a
yeah, yeah.
because you guys are operating as a publisher essentially, right? So
I would say more as a platform than a publisher. I think we behave a lot like a publisher this second because we like review games and we like make sure they work. We try not to make a value judgment on if they're good or not. We just try to make sure they're not broken or like I would say deliberately bad. But we try to not be a publisher in the way where we're trying to say this game is good. We're trying to say you've made a game that works and people can try on the Farcade is really our main criteria. So we see ourselves much more as a platform than a publisher.
gotcha. Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Chuck. Do you have anything else you want to plug or hype up? Maybe some updates that are coming out very
Yeah,
soon.
dude. Thank you for asking. I think the big thing I want to say is our team ships very fast. I'm starting to do these things where every week I'm recapping all the stuff we're doing. One thing that we're shipping next week, which we haven't really mentioned, is this concept called leagues. And leagues are going to be a very fun, I think, introduction for new players and a new way for people who are excited about playing games, getting into the ecosystem. I think it's gonna be a really fun, almost like not reset of the platform, but a really good time if you're new and haven't played in the Farcade, a really good way to like get started and almost feel like you're getting in at the ground floor with everybody else. And so I'm really excited about those. We're going to be launching them next week, we believe, maybe the week after if testing needs a little bit more testing. But I think that's something that's coming I'm super excited about. Multiplayer games are coming, and yeah, I think like those are the big things. And obviously, we are doing our play to airdrop right now, and something that if you're excited about playing just hyper casual games or building games, I think hopefully we're a platform that's really fun and exciting for you to try out.
Super cool. Yeah, I've got the ideas flowing. AC, maybe we'll do a game stream where we build some sort of game together with the community. We just
Sorry.
take ideas.
Yeah, I'm sorry. One other thing.
Definitely. Let's try that.
One other thing that we're doing is we just launched it on World app, but we're launching it on Telegram and other apps. It's just low money, like skill based wagering. So this has been really popular on World app, where people actually can wager a dollar, 10 cents, and they're basically doing like either double ups or these types of things where it's like you can wager that and you finish in the top 50% of the tournament, you double your money for all of your entry fees. And so that's something we're working on right now and something that's been really popular. So that's another thing that's coming, is more like low money casual gaming. So you can actually do daily double ups and actually just like earn from being good at games, which has been really fun.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Guys, if you haven't checked out Farcade yet, now is a great time to, as Chuck said, you have the opportunity to, get some really cool rewards and obviously participate in the TGE there for the airdrop coming up. And who knows, if you create, a really amazing game, you're going to get rewarded even more.
Yes.
Yep. Their website and their X are posted in our AMA discussion, so you can follow them and check the website.
Yeah, obviously you guys have you have your Twitter, you've got your website. What other socials should people look out for you? Chuck?
So we're on Warpcast as well, but the Twitter is like, I think the main, that's where we do all of our announcements, all our stuff. We have a Discord. The Discord is very builder focused. So if you want to build games, I'd highly recommend joining our Discord. That I would say it's much more about that than it is about just being. We're not trying to use it as like the community building platform per se. We're just trying to use it as a place where if you need help building a game or you're stuck, like that's definitely the place to be if you just want to learn how to build AI coded games.
Cool. Well, thanks again, Chuck, for joining and running us through. It's always amazing to have, the dev slash founder come on and like showcase their product because they know best instead of me and AC trying to figure it out. Hopefully we see a bunch of, YGG community created games on there as well.
Yeah, definitely. We should do just like a YGG game jam. I think we could do something pretty fun. But thanks so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate your time. I know you guys' time is valuable as well, and it's really fun to get to showcase this, and so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, hopefully we
Exactly.
see a lot more of you guys.
Yeah, that's the plan. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks so much. AC, anything that you want to close off here with you?
Yeah, definitely, guys, check out Farcade AI. So, very interesting topic we have today, and you must, if you're interested in game building, definitely the one to look out for.
Excellent.
And yeah, we have the gap. I think people are asking for the gap. So, what have you seen the messages, Colin?
I have. Gap season 10, I think is slated for the end of the month, or even earlier than that. So be on the lookout for our announcement when we're coming to Gap. Again, hopefully we
Yep.
might even see Farcade in the future in one of these gaps.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's
I,
go.
I don't know how that would work because you essentially have a bajillion different games in there. But I think with your leveling and points platform, there might be some way for us to make that work. But yeah, guys, be on the lookout for that. It is coming very soon. Uh, Also, next week we have our Q1 community update, and I'll be
Mhm.
joined here most likely with Gabby and a lot of the other teams. So if you have questions for Big Gaboosh, that is the time to ask them. So definitely don't miss that stream. And again, we will be starting to feature a lot of the upcoming Gap stuff. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming. I think the next bull market is just right around the corner.
Yeah, and watch out for our Lowland.
Yes, La La Land is coming soon. Another the
Yeah.
first YGG published game of hopefully many. But yeah, I will catch you guys later. Thank you so much everybody for joining.
All right, together we play.